Jessica May. I'm a female comic, as you can tell. There's one thing that has gotten really annoying. I've been doing this for about 5 years. Is when a man comes up and is like, you know, you're pretty funny for a girl. Like, oh, well, you're kind of a dick for... It's fitting, never mind. So, the other day I was driving, it was pretty icy outside. I was trying to get out of the way. I was parked at a stoplight. I was trying to get out of the way for an ambulance. And this car was right next to me, and I didn't feel there was enough room. So I go, and I try and get in front of the guy right next to me. And I accidentally skip his bumper a little bit. And I have never been in an accident or anything like this before. Never had so much of a speeding ticket. So I was pretty, not very happy. I was having a panic attack. Let's just call it what it was. And I get out, and the guy just starts yelling at me like, I wish you hadn't done that, blah, blah, blah. And I don't even know where I was. The cop comes up. I don't know how long it took him to get there because panic attack, like I said. And he's just like, okay, you're going to look at me? And guy's yelling at him. He's like, sir, can you please stop? And I'm like, freaking the fuck out. And the cop looks at me and he's like, okay, you're going to look at me right now. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, I was a doula for quite a long time. That's actually how I got into comedy. Let's just side note that. And I was sitting there like, oh my God, I am doing Lamaze with a very hot cop on the corner of Main Street and Airport Road. Yeah, it was quite exhilarating, let me tell you. I'd highly not recommend. I like to make pros and cons lists before I make any major decisions in my life because, it's good to make a rational decision. About a year ago, I was about ready to, I was thinking about dumping this guy that I was living with and started making the list and I'm like, I like the washing machine. The dryer's great. Ooh, the fridge makes 2 different types of ice. I'm like, I love his daughter. I'm like, fuck. Yeah. I guess, yeah. So I dumped him. Don't worry, I dumped him. Because that's all he was really worth is 2 different kinds of ice, though. Isn't that kind of cool? Like a small cube and a big cube? For my future, I'm going to have that. I'm from Big Timber, Montana. I went to high school there. I like driving through it. I don't know, it's just the thing I like to do. It's like, it doesn't change, it's cute. I don't like to see people from Big Timber, though. It's a different kind of thing, especially when you're in Billings, because they just kind of pop up at you like, ah! So going to Costco is a very hard task on the weekends because that is when people from small towns come to get their supplies for the month. And they are there full force on the weekends. So it's just a Saturday morning and I'm like, shit, I have to get a birthday cake. I don't want to do it. But she wants a Costco birthday cake with the rainbows on it. So I'm going to go get the Costco birthday cake with the rainbows. And I am dodging people from Big Timber left and right. I make it all the way to the flowers. I make it all the way to the store, all the way through the store. You know where the flowers are by the register? I made it all the way there. And I decided to smell the goddamn roses. And I hear, Jessica Johnson! And I turn around, and there's my friend from high school. I'm like, oh, how are you? She's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, just got a birthday cake. I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, we're on a date. I'm like, oh, yeah, because that's great. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you look really good. I'm like, look at you. How many kids you got now? She's like, 8. I'm like, oh, cool. She was a really pretty big bitch in high school, so there was some sort of satisfaction that she looks like she's had about 8 to 12 kids. So anyways, that is all I have for you tonight. Have a wonderful night. Thank you.